weirdo. I'm a big weirdo. Yes, 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 yes. I'm a super total weeb. I'm a super total weeb. I'm a cosplay inspector, an autograph collector, a franchise dissector, a merchandise detector. I brought my tent to be first in line. Crowdfund investor, love of adventure. I'll finally meet every idol of mine. Franchise dissector, merchandise detector. Yes, 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 yes. You're a big weirdo. You're a big weirdo. Yes, 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 yes. Join this weird fandom with me. Join this weird fandom with me.
I may not be a 10, but I'm a natural 20. I was lonely back then, here I am one of many. I can't wait till the time when the weekdays are gone. Got a goal, don't wait up, heading straight to the con.
Yes, 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 yes. We're all big weirdos. We're all big weirdos. Yes, 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 yes. And we'll make this one a hit. We'll make this one a hit.
Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for the Geekenders podcast. MegaRan, Jesse and Dodger, what up? Let's go. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow and see what the Geekenders are all about. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt. Yo, another end of another long week. Got a job and a kid, I know that you all beat. So take a second, grab a drink and vibe while we catch you up in just a matter of time. On gaming, comics, whatever you're doing. If you're nerdy like us, then you know you should tune in. Thank you for sharing our world with us. Now follow, subscribe, and turn this up. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Geekenders. It is
Hello, everybody.
May the 2nd.
Ooh. Hope everyone had a groovy May Day. And you're all doing oh so well in this fabulous springtime. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling groovy, baby.
Are you?
Yeah, not really.
I liked that.
Yeah, I bring back the Bat Tootsie. Feel like that's for all my grandpas out there and or fans of old Batman.
They're like, you know what? This boy's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do you do anything on May the 4th as a Star Wars fan?
Oh, May the 4th? No. It's all about Revenge of the 5th. Or 6th. Both are acceptable. However, I don't care. I will say, I'll probably look for more Star Wars Old Canon Book Club. Weird thing to say that you're like, I don't even care. But also have a podcast entirely devoted to Star Wars. So, yeah.
You know, different aspects of it that, matter more, that hit different.
Sure. Yeah, I don't have Disney Plus anymore, so I haven't seen any Andor. For people who are asking, I don't know. I will get it.
I haven't seen season
now that
2
I'm back.
Yet. Yeah.
I expect it to be amazing as always.
I mean, it's not all out yet. Just wait till it's all out, right?
Yeah. I still gotta, I figure I'll go check out Daredevil and all that stuff too. I just don't, streaming services. Y'all got me for a while, but I'm out. And I don't want to get back in where I have 12 of you. So
I like
see.
this vendetta you have against streaming services now. It's inspiring.
It was fine. They were great until they just became cable.
Yeah.
I got out of cable, was like, oh, you mean I can pay $7 a month and watch whatever I want?
But
you mean I can pay $9, $14? That's what I'm saying. Now it is worse than cable.
Yeah, because you're having to pay 8 different people for things instead of just one company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. And so I think a lot of people got caught up in I need to watch this show and this show and this show. And then it just, now you have as many services as you had when you were having cable, except they're all in different accounts with different things. And it's just more of a pain in the ass. You're still getting commercials. So, and I don't even know, that's commercials. That's atrocious. I hate that. I hate the idea of them being like, we're going to provide you something different. Honestly, it really helped me completely understand. So when I was in college taking macro and microeconomics, I was always just like, man, there's some things I don't get. Now I completely get how the whole system works, where it was like, people came along, said there was a problem, cable TV was bad, we're going to make you something better than cable TV. Then they killed cable TV and then just replaced it with themselves, which is exactly what happens over and over and over and over and over again in all economics. And I just thought, I was like, oh yeah, no, I get that now. Oh, I see what you're doing. You killed an old thing and then replaced it with something new that just took over the job of the other old thing, which I think honestly is what YouTube was trying to do for years. And so it might be working. People watching YouTube on TVs right now is one of the biggest platforms in the world. Literally have conversations with people at YouTube. They're like, you should really think about making all your videos in 4K now because people are watching it on their TVs more and more. And then they just show me stats and it's absolutely true. You at home are probably watching this right now on a TV. So yeah, I don't.
Maybe.
That's yeah. If you're wondering, Jesse, you seem like today. This is the first time I've stared at a computer screen in days, and this computer screen's too big. My eyes are like, and I'm getting bombarded. It's a lot. I realize I haven't been on a computer all that much lately, and my eyes are readjusting. So
yeah, you were on a trip.
Yeah. It's great.
You did a trippy poo that you can't talk about. Correct.
I mean, I went to Remedy and I got to check out Firebreak, and other than that, I can't say anything yet. But like, I'm allowed to say that. So that was a thing, and I got to spend time there. And I ate reindeer. Which was a whole thing, and I was like, oh, and the best parts is one, there was a strangely enough, the best parts were in the process of getting to Helsinki. One, airports. You know how when you're on the airplane and they're like, I don't know, they might play a video or have some sort of way of saying like, fasten your seatbelts, do this thing, right?
Yes.
I don't know if it's just Finnish society, if it's the vibe there, but their like way of doing it was so straightforward. It was hilarious. Hold on, I wrote some things down because it just made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, their pre-flight check is they said the flight attendant comes up and the voice in the back goes, the seatbelt is like this. It's how you use a seatbelt. And they just click. And I was like, what? They said, yeah, when they were showing the like, life preserver, they were like, this is what we are showing you and what it's used for. I was like, this is incredible. And then my favorite one is at the end, they're like, don't take any pictures on the plane or video unless you ask everyone around you. I was like, whoa. I've never heard of that before. So it was very fun. They were just like, this is the thing that you do. Do it correctly. I was like, that's amazing.
I kind of love that because I was thinking to myself when we were flying back from Los Angeles, we were on Virgin, and Virgin has like the whole rigmarole, the guy falling asleep and then having a bunch of dreams about plane safety, and like it's like a whole huge thing. And it's not that I don't enjoy those, and I understand why they're doing them, but at the same time, like, I kind of love the idea of just being like, hi, here's a seatbelt. Do it like this.
Yeah, I genuinely loved it. I was like, okay. Yeah, it was to the point. It was quick. The one you're talking about, the Virgin one, I fly a lot, so I've seen a lot of these damn intros. Yeah. The Virgin one, for example, yeah, it's like a 10-minute cartoon about how to stay safe that it does parodies of movie genres.
Yeah. And it goes on forever. It's so long.
Yeah, like
the Air New Zealand one is really long too. They used to have one that was all like Hobbit themed. Yeah, they had a Hobbit themed one for a long time. Yeah. Yeah,
the Delta one is one of my, it might be Delta or United. One of them's one of my favorites because it's like played serious but also for comedy, and none of it lands. You can't tell if it's just one flight attendant. She's like, hi, y'all. We're gonna teach you about, and you're like, okay, is this a joke? And then stuff in the background happens that I think is supposed to be funny, but I don't know. It's very weird. I just don't remember. It's either United or Delta. It's crazy.
Amazing.
But those ones that take forever. This was, I'm telling you, like 45 seconds tops. They were like, put this on, do this thing. You should know how to do this. I was like, yeah, you should know how to fashion a seatbelt. It's not that hard. And they're like, if you're in this section of the plane, you do it this way. If you're in this section of the plane, do it this way. It's not hard. And I was like,
okay,
fantastic. Yeah, thanks, Finland. So that was pretty great. And then they had this mural. I guess it was like a bunch of different comics in the airport. And one of them was about that weird salt candy they have.
Yeah.
Like Salamander, Salamanca, Salazar, something like that, whatever the hell that stuff's called.
Yeah.
And the whole joke was about giving it to tourists. That was the art was your face watching people eat our candy. And they were like, hee hee. And I was like, you do this on purpose. That's why all you assholes send it to me in the mail. Like, here you go, idiot. Suck on this candy. I'm like, I hate that stuff. It's the worst. And I was like, why are you? So, of course, I had to take a photo with it. I just forgot to post it. But yeah, I had a great time at the airport for some reason. Absolutely loved it.
Aside from your luggage getting banged up, I did see that.
Yeah, that was KLM's fault headed home. I don't know what the hell the deal was there. Yeah, my luggage that I've had for 12 years finally destroyed. I was like, rest in peace, King. Yeah,
Man.
They bashed in, like a whole corner's bashed in and the wheel was destroyed. And when I tried to pop it out, it was like cracked and broken. So that's cool. That's neat. And they said, there's like, well, sir, there's nothing we can do. You can file a report and get a claim. And I was like, oh, God. So I went on their website and the report is like 18 pages long and you have to provide different evidence and stuff. And I was like, I see what they're doing. I understand what this is. Yeah. So yeah, when I was at the airport, there was like, there's no one here who can help you, sir. I was like, oh, okay, thank you.
Great, good.
Oh, well, so now I got to handle that, but it's whatever.
When Clark was really tiny, we used to always fly Air New Zealand because they had the couches. They still have the couches. You can get
New Zealand has couches?
Yeah, like sleep couches. So you can get a row of 3 chairs and the chair, here's the chair, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this part of the chair flips up.
Yo! That's cool.
It's so sick. And I always thought to myself, all of the chairs should have this option. They should just make it so all the chairs can do this. It wouldn't be practical because you have to you have to be able to rummage under your chair sometimes. Yeah. But like, it was so nice, dude. It is more expensive, obviously, but it was it was a lifesaver having like a 2-year-old being like, go to bed, please sleep.
Does Sam have the like tall dude plane problems? Because the amount of time I spend with my legs mashed into someone else's chair is the most. I can't handle it. It drives me crazy. And then look, everyone, I know you have the right to lean back in your chair. But as a tall, fat dude, you're killing me. You're absolutely, I lose all access to everything.
Yeah.
Watching things, gone. Eating anything, gone. Like, I just can't. And I just want to be like, please move it up. But no, I get it, man. It's your seat. You can do what you want. But I swear to God, it is the meanest thing ever. Not a fan.
I felt so bad because the aisle that we were in on our way back from LA, the person who was on the outside of our row was like a taller, bigger guy. And of course, the dude in front of him, immediately the second he was able to, leaned all the way back. And this dude, the entire flight was like trying to like push the chair a little bit away from him just to give him some breathing room. And I was like, I would swap with you. I didn't say this to him, but I was like, I would 100% swap with you, but I have a kid here, I can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sucks.
Oof. It is in fact one of my least favorite ways to travel, but it's the only one we got, so I guess that's it. Yeah. Not a fan.
Have you ever flown business class or like first class?
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm no fool.
Oh my gosh. I never have.
Yeah, if it's in a reason, like sometimes they're asking ludicrous amounts of money. This is no point. But if I go online and it's a reasonable price, I'm like that. Yes, instantly. I won't even think about it. I'll be like, I have to, or I'll go crazy. Yeah. Oh, that's no. Yeah. If it's sometimes if you're flying international, it's absolutely impossible. They're like, it's only $10,000 for like, nah, that's who am I? A celebrity? Some kind of rich guy over here? No. But like, if it's in the US of A, then a lot of times it's pretty affordable. Yeah. It depends on who you fly with, to be honest. Sometimes they're like,
that's also fair.
But oh yeah. I will say, however, the greatest flight that I ever had, I once went to, this would be like 2015 maybe. I flew to
a decade ago.
Yeah, this has been a while ago. I flew to Europe here's the thing though. I have not found this plane or this flight or whatever. It feels like a fever dream. I got an upgrade to first class and it was like 5 seats in the nose of this plane. We all had our own waiters and stuff. It was crazy. But I have looked at first class cabins since then. None of them look like what that was. So I don't know what I was
Emirates? On. I see ads for Emirates sometimes, and they've got like a little like door and things.
I've never flown them. However, I have looked up that whole system where you get like a bed and a couch and a shower. That's like $15,000. I'm like, yo, you got to be rich. I just saw a commercial. Yeah, I saw a commercial when I was overseas. That was, I think, Jennifer. Oh boy, my brain just died. You know, the Friends girl. Girl.
Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston was doing an Emirates thing where she's like, I can't fly without my shower. And I was like, girl, you got a shower on a plane?
Damn, girl. Living it big.
Well, that's because she is a millionaire, and I get it. Yeah. Congrats. If I had that money, you best believe I would not be flying coach anywhere. I'd be like, please. Oh, no, I would get the like, not a couch, but like the round couch. I get like a conversation pit on my plane. I'd be like, I'll have the conversation pit. Yeah. But
maybe one day. I'm manifesting this for us. One day.
One day, that would be nice.
We'll have the shower room.
Although I'll be honest, I don't necessarily think I trust plain water. Like when I'm in the bathroom on the plane, I'm like, this water has a weird vibe, and I don't know if I want to bathe in it.
Fair.
But
also, what's the water pressure like on a plane? You know,
it can't be great. It can't.
Not that I'd complain if I needed a shower and they had a shower I could use. I'd be like tight, but like I am curious. Does it dribble?
I couldn't. These are questions I have no answer for.
I know.
I couldn't tell you.
We gotta get a Richie Rich on here. You know. Yeah. And be like, hello, tell us about your first class showering experiences.
Yeah, I would say, even though I like the idea, it probably would suck. Like, I think it's more of a status symbol than it is a functional thing. Because for me, I would imagine the shower, just like plain bathrooms, I'm too tall for and too fat for. So why like it's a problem every time. Or I'm just like, okay, here we go. Close. Yeah. It's never that exciting. So I'm gonna be I'll pass. I'll save the 15,000.
Right.
And, yeah. Not a fan. But I'm back, baby.
You're back. You're back in the US of A.
Yeah.
Just in time
I will say.
May.
They did not say, they were like, please do not take photos in the passport area when coming back into the States. I know why
they always say that, don't they?
Oh, I get it. Yeah. But when you're in line and there's like 800 people and exactly 2 TSA agents, I understand why they kept pressing it on repeat. It wasn't like every once in a while they'd say it. They were like, please don't take photos. And I'm like, no, I get, there are people walking by with cameras just filming. People are pissed. I was like, yeah, it took forever to get in. Well, just the worst. Just the worst. I was like, there's so many people and there's only 2 dudes. Why? I was feeling it. I was in that. I genuinely, this is absolutely a real thought I had where I was like, if we all rushed it, we could just get through. What are they going to do? Shoot all of us? I honest to God thought that at some point. I was like, there's all these stalls open. If we just rush them, no one can stop us. There's not enough TSA agents in the building to stop 800 people. I was like, if we all band together, we could do this.
Oh, you'd also trample one of your own, though, for sure. Somebody'd stumble. It would be
There
a mess.
was a little kid in front of me who was riding his suitcase and his mom was pulling the suitcase and the little kid kept punching his mom in the leg and I was like, yeah, this is why I'm not having kids. This mom was she literally was going, ow, ow. And the kid's like punching her leg. And she was doing nothing but dragging him on the suitcase. And I was like, I hate all of this.
This, not my favorite.
Yeah, I was like, bless you, madam, bless you.
That's why I love when I land in an airport and I have to go through like the passport check and they have a separate line for families. That's so nice. Sure. That's so nice for both, right? It protects everybody. The people who don't want to be around a bunch of whiny kids, they don't have to be. And the people who have a bunch of whiny kids can stand with other people with whiny kids in a slightly shorter line.
Yeah. I mean, I'm here for that. Except having seen in LA when I landed, they had a line for people in wheelchairs. It was as long as the line of just people waiting to get in. It was a crazy long line.
That's
Meanwhile,
crazy.
I will say, there's definitely a scam going on with Global Entry because that thing was empty and people were just cruising through there. And I was like, should have done it. Should have. But then I'm like, how often do I need to get back in the United States? Like, once, twice a year. So I'm like, do I pay for that?
You use it more often than most people do.
People? You're absolutely correct. Yeah. But man, I looked at that. I was looking at that line like, I should have done this. What a failure I am. Oh, well. Yeah.
You're not a failure.
Thank you.
You're just like, it's fine. You did exactly what English people do with AC every year. You went, I'll get it eventually, but like, I don't need it right now. It's fine.
Honestly,
and then you were in a situation where you were
need.
like, please. I wish I had that.
I have everything I need to do it. I just have never done it. And you know why? Because in order to actually do it, it's like, please head to your nearest airport. That means in order to get this finished, I would have to drive purposefully to LAX on purpose and not leave. I'd have to drive my own car there.
Right.
Park there. Go to the airport. Like, I was like, this is the worst idea. I hate this. There's got to be like an office somewhere. They're like, no. There is, but it's at the airport. So go to LAX. I'm like, the worst airport? You guys are killing me. So,
dude, they arguably made the situation a little bit worse since last time I had been there as well. Sorry to make this conversation very LA focused, by the way, viewers, listeners.
We're just being cool hipster dudes. We take the 101 to the 405 and we jump on down to LAX.
Yeah, dude.
Then you gotta go over to La Brea.
Yeah, we were hanging out in Mid-City. It was tight.
Yeah, I was over by Westwood, and then I went to the Valley, but I was like, should I go to Sherman Oaks or like, should I go through Malibu? And I was like, I don't know, I'll take the 101. All right, down to the 10, dude, 171. Yeah. Los Angeles, it's a bunch of fucking roads.
It's a bunch of fucking roads. That's it. That's the whole city.
That's really it.
So last time that I was there, and this might sound like it makes a lot of sense, wherever your plane is leaving from, the terminal your plane is leaving from is also where you check in. So now that's not the case. And sometimes, maybe hypothetically, you and your 6-year-old go to Terminal 2 and check in. And then they say, great, now walk down to the international terminal, 2 terminals down. And I go, why couldn't I have checked in the international terminal like I have before? And I still wonder that.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's one of my favorite things. Whenever I think it's Delta. It's either Delta, United, or American, which is most of the airplanes there, but it's one of the big ones where they have their plane split between 2 terminals. Mm-hmm. And you can check in at either terminal, but you get a 50-50 chance of it being the right one. So you're like, it's either terminal 2 or 3. So you show up and they're like, all right, your flight is 1 terminal over. And you're like, what? Should I have just gone over there? Like, you could have, sir, but you didn't. You're like, all right, guess I'm walking. Ridiculous.
No,
the whole place
I checked when we got to the actual terminal that we were flying out of. I was looking around to see if there was a check-in desk there, and there wasn't. So the only option was to check in at Terminal 2 and then walk down to Tom Bradley.
Yep.
I was like, all right, that's fine.
Yep.
It's like a 12-minute walk. It's fine, but it was annoying.
Sure. My favorite comment is they don't have train technology. The funniest part is we do now. They're literally for the Olympics building a tram. It took how many decades? And they're finally like, we're doing it, everybody. Trains, they're here.
We're going to be very impressive. It's going to be amazing.
the car of the future, trains. We're on it.
Oh my gosh. Our public transportation in LA is so bad.
The worst. It is nonsensical. It's like you can get on there is a subway, y'all, if you want to get from downtown LA to Hollywood. But if you want to go anywhere else, have fun, asshole.
I was living there for 10 years? The entire time that I lived there, they were like, guys, buckle up. We're adding onto the subway system. It's going to go all the way to Venice Beach.
Nope.
When? When are you guys going to do any work on that? When? Yeah. When is that happening?
Hilariously, this is actually really funny. You can learn all about the LA public transit system on Tell Me About, the recent one we did with City Planner Plays when we were talking about planning. Yeah, city planning video games. By the end of the conversation, because we both had lived in LA, it devolved into the wrongs and rights of LA and why LA turned out the way it did based on city planning games. And I'll say, I had a great time. That's one of my favorite conversations I've had in a while. Where I was like, oh, that's how that works and why it's such a mess. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Just point that out. Boop. Shameless plug. Yeah. So did you do? Well, I was away. I played no games. I did nothing of value. I did, however, manage to watch, because I haven't seen a lot of movies. I did, however, manage to watch Captain America: Brave New World, which everyone said sucked, and my review was it was all right. I watched Wicked, which everyone loved, and my review was it was all right. And then I watched Twisters, which is Twisters, and I was like, it was all right. So I watched 3 all right movies.
Nice.
I have no opinion on them. I was like, yeah, that's fine. And it was, it was a good time. That's literally all I did. And then I walked around and checked out stuff. And yeah, I did nothing. I did nothing I would say of nerdy value. But what did you do? No, I was about to say, I definitely maybe played some games last week before I left, but I literally left right after last week's show. So I did not, in fact, do a damn thing.
By your own admission, you left the second that Geekenders is done.
Yeah, literally the minute it was done, I was out. So I didn't really do much that I can talk about.
Right. That wasn't NDA. So this last weekend was my kiddo's birthday.
Oh.
So basically the whole weekend was that, and it was very fun and cute.
A weekend? Oh no. Oh
no, not a multi-day thing. But like,
okay, I was gonna have
no. No.
I thought it'd be like, Clark is going to end up as like, it's my birth month.
It's my birthday week. Yeah. Dude.
Everything is about me all week long.
Oh my goodness. No, so originally she was like, I just want it to be like, I want my friends to come to the farm and then we do crafts. And I was like, that sounds super fun. We'll come up with a few craft projects, whatever. And then while we were in America, she decided that she actually wanted it to be frog and nature themed.
Interesting.
I was going to say she heel turned, which is a term that I keep using, and everybody always thinks that I mean that she's turning into a villain. So I'm going to try to stop saying it.
That's because of wrestling, but a heel turn is just a whoop, like
just a 180, right? So we decided to kind of meet in the middle and have some things that were frog themed. Like she had a frog cake that she made with her grandma, which turned out very cute. And one of the craft activities was building like a fake terrarium.
That's cute.
Which was adorable. Everybody,
were there like other kids there? Was this like a whole, everyone's making their own fake terrarium?
Yeah. So we got everybody a little jar and
that's awesome.
Packed in some dirt and then gave them all like tiny acorns and nice rocks and, just whatever they wanted to decorate with. And then everybody got a little glow in the dark frog to put in, and it turned out very cute and everybody really liked it.
That is some like supremely good birthday parenting. I'm very impressed. This is cute.
Thank you. It was very fun. And other than that, it was like jewelry and Lego and stuff. But yeah, generally it went very well. I was very glad. But I've realized Sam and I are a good matchup because I will stress out about something like my kid's birthday for like 3 days leading up to it. I will stress out the whole time that we're setting up all of that. And the second that it's going, I'm like, all right, there's nothing else I can do, right? I've done everything that I can. I've given it all,
Mm-hmm.
The second the party starts or the second that people are like at our house, whatever, Sam immediately turns into, he won't sit down. He's constantly asking people if they need anything. He's bringing people stuff. He's checking in on the kids. He's like so active the entire time that it's happening. And I'm like, this is the flip, right? Like leading up, I was like, and then the second it starts, he's like, So
it's the cook the dinner, do the dishes team.
Yeah,
you gotta
exactly.
have that. Yeah, I get it. It's a solid relationship.
It worked out.
Yeah, I think it's very cute. But it also says a lot about Sam's mentality of being in the moment. Like he's an in the moment guy.
He is. That's fair. That's a good observation. Yeah.
Like he's not going to stress the things until it's like, all right, now I got to do this. I'm doing this and I'm going to do it the best I can. That kind of vibe. And it's like, why stress it the day before when it's not the moment? So there's no, like, you can't, what are you going to do? It's the two different personalities of like, I'm prepping, I'm planning, I'm worrying, I'm stressing. All right, we're here. Nothing else I can do versus, well, what am I going to do? That's tomorrow's problem. I'll deal with it tomorrow.
Yeah. And then the day of being the guy that's like, do the kids want to see the sheep now? Should we take the kids to the sheep? I'll grab the kids. Hey kids, do you want to go see the sheep? All right, let's get the kids together. We're going to go see the sheep. I'm like, okay, bye. Yeah.
It's also like a vacation mentality of like, there are some people who plan every hour of the vacation to be doing something. And then people who are like, no, we're going to do that. But like, whenever we do that, do you want to do it now or should we do it later? And then you're like, no, I've already planned this 4 weeks ago. Right. But like, we can just go right now. I mean, surely the kids want to see that. So let's go to like that kind of vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cute.
It's complimentary. Worked out. Also, another good quote from the birthday day was Sam going, I'm going to go get some more food. And I was like, I think we've got enough. And he was like, no, you underplan and I overplan. So I'm going to go get more food. I was like, okay. And in the end, we needed more food. So anyways, yeah. So birthday, we did a birthday and that was fun. And then I got a bug in my ear and decided that I wanted to replay Hollow Knight. I guess because of Silksong, everybody's talking about Silksong now. People are drawing pictures of hornet crawling out of the ground, clutching a clown wig and screaming. You know, it's good. It's been fun.
Did you? Is it? I think I saw a thing this week. I could be crazy, but
Yes.
is it because there's hype now? Because I think they said at some event there's going to be a playable version in September, and so everyone's like, "Yo, it's coming out this year, dude."
I did hear a thing like that, but I didn't know if it was a goof.
Sure.
I never
I'm just
know
wondering what
things
got
are
you
goofs.
like. What made you want to play again? I know you love it, so I know that's
I
like
do.
it's one of your faves.
It is.
But I'm curious, what was the like? What got you into it? What
well, you know,
started it?
I'm a big like fandom fan art troll. So
Okay.
so yeah, the second that I knew people were like getting reinterested in Hollow Knight, I was like, I wonder if people are making fan art again. So I went looking around, and they absolutely are, which is why I know people are drawing Hornet throwing clown wigs in the trash. It makes me laugh. It's fun. And then I was like, oh, I love Hollow Knight. It's my favorite game. And I don't have a Metroidvania I'm playing right now, which is like my peak game type. So so I said, maybe now's the time. Maybe this is the right time to start replaying Hollow Knight. But what I worried about, because when I played Hollow Knight originally, you know, with no context of like where to go, what to do, how the bosses worked, it took me so long to get through that game. I also played before it had map markers. So I was
so this
doubling
is like,
back constantly.
right. So I imagine this is probably an easier experience.
Much easier. Way easier. Partly because of the map markers, but also it's shocking how good muscle memory is. Or like, if you did a boss fight 1 million times a few years ago, you'll remember that boss. There's some part of you that still has it locked up there just from the repetition. So I would go into fights and be like, I remember this fight. I know this character, but I don't remember what I need to do. And the second it would start, I'd go, oh, right. And then they do this, and then they're going to do this. No, I'm okay. I've got it. So I actually haven't gotten stuck very much. Humble brag, I guess, but it's been nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I completely understand what you mean. There was a old Super Nintendo game called Joe and Mac, just a side-scrolling platform mashing thing where you were two cave dudes who had to save cave babes, and you killed dinosaurs. That game, to this day, is locked up here. You can see footage of years ago when I was on the Game Grumps playing that game. You
Amazing.
can see it, and like constantly I will go back to that game and be like, I know this boss. I know what I'm doing. I love that game. And I absolutely, completely understand what you mean. And that game is 20 years old? 30 years old? Yeah. So it's the ride a bike principle. Like you just absolutely know how to do it. And even though it might be 20 years, you're like, I can ride this bike again.
Yeah, I can do this. Yeah, so I expected that that I was going to start the replay and then go, well, I'm clearly not going to finish this replay because it will just take me too long. And I don't want to, you know, spend the next month playing Hollow Knight, really, you know. But I'm zipping through it, actually. So maybe we'll just crush out a full playthrough, you know. We'll see.
Could this be your Crendor every Tuesday he plays Banjo-Kazooie kind of thing where you're like, we're back again. We're going to speed. The man,
Let's
I think,
do
has
this.
Yeah, every time he streams that, he gets faster and faster. And I don't know what his time is right now, but it's like almost speed run-ish.
I was going to say, is he a Banjo speedrunner now?
I mean, it's pretty impressive. He's definitely to the point. I think he spends a lot of time goofing, but if he set his mind to just doing it,
yeah,
he could probably nail it.
Man, Crendor has hidden talents. I feel like
I wouldn't go that far. Let's not do that. Let's not praise him. That's the last thing we need.
You just said that he's almost speedrunning the game without even meaning to. Almost
is the key. Almost. I don't want to say he's speedrunning. We can't give him anything. He will never let us live it down. We gotta keep him grounded. We gotta pull him back down.
Give him nothing.
Yeah, give him nothing.
Okay, aside from Hollow Knight, The only other game that I played that wasn't like a sponsored thing was, oh my gosh, the game that I played today, which was a demo that I played during the last Next Fest. The Horror at Highrook. I remember telling you about it, but I will re-pitch this game.
Yes, it definitely has a like I've heard this before vibe.
Yes. So The Horror at Highrook was a game that's sort of board gamey. It's a little cultist simulator. The concept, the like storyline framework is that there is an old manor and a very important noble family that has gone missing. And everyone knew that they were kind of involved in weird occult shit. So the mayor of the town that they live in is like, we need to figure out what happened to this family. So he calls upon or brings together 4 people from different backgrounds, 4 specialists, and says, I want you guys to work as a team and figure out what happened to them. And so the reason I say it's like cultist simulator is, or like games that are similar to that, is everything is represented by cards. So there's little cards for the characters, cards for items, etc. And when you combine characters and items together, it might pop up with a new card representing a new item, right? So one character with a spyglass might, with the spyglass, find a cool rock, right? As an example.
Sure.
So it's that sort of a thing. Cards beget more cards, beget more cards. But the reason that I like vastly prefer this is that it is set up more like a board game. So there are rooms. The entire manor is laid out in like a grid of rooms. And when you start, you have a certain number of them. Some of them are locked. And each character, again, there are 4 of them, and each one of them has a different set of skills. There will be 2 characters that will have, I'm trying to think of how to explain this. There's none of them are the only one to have a certain skill. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So they all of the skills overlap with one other person, but each room is represented by a skill type. So the cliffs are where you would go hunting. The cellar is where you would look for secrets. The archives is where you would study mysteries. So it's
like card combo room. Yes. I don't say technology, but like you can't just look for secrets in the library, for example. If the card says that, it's like you have to use the thing on the right square, I guess.
Yeah. So everything's color coded. Yeah. And it's kind of like Clue. So it technically is just constantly running, but I play it more like a real time, or not real time, turn-based game. I just pause it every time everybody's done something and then decide where I want things to be. But yeah, you put a person in a room with an item that works in that room. So it has to be a person with that skill.
Gotcha.
And an item that works in that room. And then you let it resolve, and then they might find something new. They might find, a note that was left in that room, or, whatever. So there's also a survival element where you need to keep track of whether or not everyone's sleeping, whether or not everyone's eating, and their like mental state, because it's got the like Cthulhu horror element going on.
Okay. All right.
So the survival element is really light. I haven't had any trouble keeping track of that and making sure everybody's fine. Sure. Generally, it's been really nice. Like it's just sort of flowed easily. I haven't really gotten stuck. I haven't felt overwhelmed yet. I think it's a really fun game.
It looks neat. I mean, just looking at the trailer for it and stuff, it absolutely, I recognize this from last time we talked about it. It absolutely is one of those like, yeah, I should play this. I should give this a look. So very cool. I'm all about that slow burn Cthulhu light. We're doing a little mystery uncovering stuff, and then there's some sort of wacky horror element. Honestly, it's a solid gimmick to make any game a little more exciting. There's like, oh yeah, no, it's a mystery, but there's something under the surface that always adds like a little spice to it. Even if it's very light, it always adds a bit to it. And so that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's from the very start of the game, you start finding letters from the husband being like, you know, I've gotten involved with this group and I've found these things and like, you know, I can't tell my wife, you know, but then eventually you start finding stuff that was written by his kid, like his very young kid who's like, Daddy's acting weird and he's got this weird necklace and I think I'm going to take the necklace. I'm going to take it somewhere else, right? And you're like, oh no, you know, like you're just slowly trying to figure out like what happened to these people and where they are and whether or not you can like get them back, basically.
Okay, so yeah. I think I saw someone say this earlier, but I think it's really apt based on that description you just said, where it's Clue meets Oberdin dipped in blueprints. I feel like that is a solid way to describe that, I think. Also, what magic Coke are you drinking right now? I don't want to, unless Coke wants to sponsor us, but what is, I've never seen this before.
Coca Lime.
All right. Sure. Yeah, it's lime Coke. I've definitely seen that before, but it's like, it's a different color, I guess. I don't know.
Different can.
Yeah, different can. It's like, there's a big obsession overseas with Pepsi Max, and I just don't understand it. But like, you know, maybe because it just looks different. Here in the States, it's like, yeah, it's like Pepsi, but crappier.
We've suddenly taken an interest. We're drinking way less soda.
Same,
but
big same.
We've decided to start drinking like the weird flavors that come out. Can say firmly, mango Coke is one of the nastiest things I've ever drank in my life.
I believe that.
Really gross.
Yeah, sure.
Really gross. Cherry Dr. Pepper, pretty good.
A lot of Dr. Peppers, I'm just going to say, kind of slap. Like, Dr. Pepper is a solid winner across the board most of the time. Yeah. There's some where it's like, especially here in the States, like raspberry sorbet Dr. Pepper. And I'm like, die. That you suck. There's a lot of really, truly awful flavors of drinks. I will say one of my favorite ones is there was like a cherry lime Sprite, I think. I kind of slapped. I was like, all right. But no, let me just say for the record, I was, I don't know, I was overseas all of half a week.
Yep.
Nothing but water and walking, maybe some drinks at night. Came back, stepped on that scale at home, down 5 pounds. How is this possible?
Dude.
Every time I travel, I come back and I've lost weight. I'm like, I think we screwed up.
I think we have a problem.
Like, what is going on? Yeah, I will say, this is real, and it's totally true. Finland. From the moment I stepped off the airport, to the moment I got to the remedy offices, to the moment I left, every single person, there are big signs that are just like, you can drink water right from the tap here, and it's fine. Everywhere. Almost comically so. We get to the offices and they're like, you guys want to try the water? And we're like, what do you mean? They're like, you're going to love the water. It was the best tasting water I've ever tasted in my entire life. I don't know how to describe to you. I know most people are like, water has a taste? Y'all, it was so good. It was like drinking from a glacier. I don't know what the hell I get to tell you. It was like the best water I've ever. I'm just like, I was constantly all day downing Finnish water. I was a pee machine. I was like constantly drinking. I loved it. I was like, this sucks. I hate that this is good. I don't know what kind of minerals are in that water. I don't know what the deal is with that water, but absolute killing it. They were like, you'd be a fool to go buy water in a bottle here. And I was like, no, you're right.
God.
No, you're right. It was incredible. I don't know what was going on, but I loved every minute of it. Yeah. If I could survive what I'm sure would be the absolute worst winters, Finland is a solid, like, the Nordic countries, a solid choice to live. Just saying. I don't know how I can handle the weather, but like, the rest of it, kind of all right. So it was pretty crazy. That's all I cannot stress this. I drank so much water.
And then were you just sad knowing that you can't get that unless you're in
the minute
Finland?
Yeah, the minute I got on the plane to come home, I think honestly that's why earlier when we were talking about the bathrooms on planes, yeah, washing my hands in the bathroom was like, this water's weird. This water feels
like
strange. And I get it when people from overseas come to, especially to LA, they're like, your water smells. And I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? They're like, your water just smells. There's a funky smell to your water. And I was like, oh, no, that's just America. That's the freedom.
You're smelling the freedom.
Yeah, that's the freedom we put in the water. Yeah.
So in Oregon, there's a town called Ashland where they have the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. Shout out to Ashland.
Cute.
But they have what are called lithia water fountains. And they are basically like, it's like nasty smelling sulfur water. And so it'll be it's kind of the same sort of thing where they're like, have you tried the water yet? But sinister. You know, it's not like you're going to be so excited.
Yeah.
But
like,
with this, it's like there's little fountains around in Ashland for you to try the water if you're brave.
I'm not brave. I don't want your stink water. I hate that. It drives me crazy. I purposefully, I was told your water smells, and I was like, I've never noticed. Bought a filter to stick on the shower. Different experience. I was like, oh my God, you were so right. It does stink. And now it doesn't. And I'm like smelly. Concerned. What have I been? Yeah. I went nose blind to it, but it's, you notice it. It's crazy. So, especially LA. I feel like in a lot of places in the States, the water's fine. But in a big city like LA, where there's barely any water anyway, they're recycling something. And it is stank water.
Yeah. Yeah. The water that I grew up on was like well water with a lot of iron in it. And so our water tastes very different from water that I've had anywhere else. But the longer that I live away from the farm in Oregon, whenever I come home, I try to drink the tap water and I'm like, it tastes weird, man. It tastes so weird.
Yeah. It's I will say I'm full on, shout out to the Hydro homies over on Reddit. Full on the Hydro homie train in that I drink enough water now. This is such a weird conversation to have because it's definitely like, hey guys, do you like water? Sure do, bro. Love it.
Really into water.
It's crazy. But you can definitely, if you just start going down the water rabbit hole and just start only drinking water and or iced tea, love a good iced tea. But like, it's noticeable. Different water, like, be it water from a can, a box, plastic, tap, where the water comes from, you're just like, it all has a different taste. There's different tastes to this water, which is crazy to think about because as a history nerd, I absolutely know that for the better part of history, even though everyone's like, be like our ancestors and drink of water and eat of meat and beans or whatever the hell people, most of history, people were like, dude, water will kill you. We got to turn that into beer or something. Like we got, and we're not, it's for the people out there who are like beer, like it wasn't get your ass drunk stuff. It was just, they made pretty weak alcohol, but it was alcohol. Like most of the time people were like, we can't drink water. That'll kill us. So just saying.
Yeah. Historically. Yeah. It was like, make it so that it's drinkable. And also, if you're making beer, it's like liquid bread. And if you didn't have food, at least you could be drinking beer.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but like, yeah.
Yeah, you were not at any point in most of history until right now, you never had like a cold glass of water. It just wasn't a thing. Unless you were living in the far north, it wasn't a thing you did. And so to me, I'm like, I need a nice cool glass. That just means I'm spoiled as shit. I am a product of the future. To my ancestors, sorry, y'all, you missed out.
You really missed out, guys.
You missed out. It's great. I'm a big fan. I guess that's where I'm at, where I'm just like, yo, I'd rather just have water. Somehow, that's where I'm at. I'm like, I don't don't need a soda right now. And it definitely changes your palate to the point where if you do have a soda, you're like, what the? However,
they taste so strong. Yeah.
Yeah. In the States, though, because, well, at least in the southern states, we have a lot of access to like Mexican soft drinks. So, of course, shout out to Mexican Coke, keeping it strong. You're great. You'll always be great and not at all too sweet. So, love that. Yeah.
The only other thing that I played, if we want to go back to a game.
Sure. Not talk about water for another 20 minutes? Are you crazy?
We could keep talking about water, but I also have a game.
I'm 80% it. It should be 80% of the show. That's just representation. Yeah.
I was sponsored to play this, but I played this with Bree. It's a game called Sunderfolk. And
I've heard of this Sunderfolk.
Bro, this game is so cute. I will say it asks you to do more than I think you're going to want to sometimes. It's a little bit Jackboxy. So they essentially were like, how do we make a turn-based strategy game where people can play together, even couch co-op
on their phones?
And you control your character on your phone.
Kind of cute. Kind of
very
like that.
Cute. So only one person has to own the game. So when we played, Bree played the game, and then Discord shared what the game looked like to me, and then I was controlling my character and what I did on my phone. But you download the Sunderfolk app to go with it, and then you join a game with a QR code. And it is so cute. The turn-based strategy like missions are very fun. The way that the app worked was pretty straightforward. It's just like a blank when you're actually playing. It's just like a blank thing, and when you need to move around, you just kind of drag your finger and watch the main screen, and you can see where your character is going. But there's a bunch of different classes that you can choose from. And then it does lots of really cute things that make it feel more like D&D. At first we were joking, like, this feels kind of like D&D, but then it kept doing stuff where we were like, it's really starting to feel like D&D now. One of them is when you come into fights, it'll choose a person at random in the group to be like, this is a different type of orc. What is this orc called, by the way? And you can just name it whatever you want. Or like we did a mission where we needed to rescue a giant beetle that was owned by this cute penguin girl. They're all animal characters, by the way. The art style is lovely. This little penguin girl was like, my beetle got taken away by orcs. Please, you have to go get him. So we went to find the beetle, and it was like, oh, it's her beetle. What was the beetle's name again? So we had to save Fart Gobbler the beetle. And
why not?
Why not? Yeah. And the way that the game works is you'll do a mission, collect as much gold or whatever as you want during the mission, but once you've completed your primary objective, it just ends that mission. And there will be, like hidden objectives and stuff, all that good nonsense. And then in between missions, you go to the main town and you can have 3 conversations. So there are a bunch of different places you can go in town and a bunch of different people you can talk to. And so you do all of that on your phone. So you can like look around in the village, tap on a person, you'll have a conversation with them. And the closer you get with that person, they might offer you gifts or give you side quests or whatever. But all of that is like individual. So each individual person can pursue that on their own on their phone, and it doesn't have barons.
Gotcha. Okay.
On the whole
So it's
group.
not on the main screen. Like there's no one who just takes over. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So what Bree and I did is we just read the conversations out to each other because you don't see them for everybody else. But then once you've had all the conversations, gone to the shops, bought whatever, then you just start a new mission. And it was very cute. Yeah, it was a really, really cute game. Until we played it, I didn't really think about the fact that it's always sort of a pain in the ass to try and multiplay a turn-based strategy game with another person. It's like, I guess this makes sense as, a way to do that, to just make it so everybody's controlling their own person on their phone.
it definitely solves a problem that, like, as a fan of Baldur's Gate 3, who thinks that game is absolutely one of the best games ever made, I must stress the experience of playing multiplayer on PC with, you know, like you and Crendor or whatever, having our own screens, doing our own thing, is vastly different than the PlayStation version, which I played, which is like, if you're playing with someone else, it's split screens and you're taking control of other people's screens. Another great example is recently I played through Cult of the Lamb multiplayer. Yes. Right? So that one, if you're both trying to do the same thing at the same time, the game grinds to a halt.
Right.
And so it's definitely an experience where, like, I love playing multiplayer in the open world, killing things, doing the roguelite stuff. But the minute you get back to camp, you're like, oh, yeah, just do it. Just make the food. It's fine. I was mining a thing, but like, it's fine. Like, that's and so having everything on your phone and having a main screen where you can look at stuff, but it isn't taking over everything, I think is very, very smart. And that's a really great way of doing that. Because it also adds a gimmick to the game, which I think these days there's so many damn games, you gotta have something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Is this Morheim's new thing? Do we know? It seems like it sounds like it's
developed by Secret Door, published by Dreamhaven.
Dreamhaven is Mike Morheim's thing, his new thing.
There we go.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's awesome. That's very, very cool. I definitely have it's interesting to see old Blizz dev on their new projects, because they're nothing like Blizzard stuff, which makes me think for a while they definitely were kind of handicapped by, we have to produce a craft game. Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo. It's got to be one of those. And watching them expand.
The strangling effect of expectations, yeah.
Especially after the Activision purchase, for sure. Mm-hmm. Which, there's, I think, oh man, what is it called? Fair Play? Something? It's the book that just came out about Blizzard. Fascinating book. Incredibly. It definitely, if you need your inside scoop,
Play Nice.
Play Nice. That's what it is. Is it Jason's book? Is that
Jason Schreier? Yeah, the rise, fall, and future of Blizzard Entertainment.
Old co-optional guest. Yes. Definite. Like, the book absolutely has here's where it went wrong. It definitely was when Blizzard was bought by Activision. Like, it is all arrows point to that. It isn't even like ambiguous. It's like, no. The thing you liked about Blizzard died that day. Right. And now it is permanently gone. So if you're one of those like old school Blizzard fans,
it's time to
spoilers.
Move on.
That's not it. It's not ever coming back. And it's fascinating because it is like, everything you kind of thought, you're like, yep, that's what happened. It's pretty shitty. But
which I guess a lot of people probably would be able to assume was the issue,
absolutely.
But having it spelled out for you, specific points, yeah,
because I think everyone understands that when big company comes in and buys something special, that special thing is gone permanently. Mm-hmm. It never exists again. You can look across all media, across anything, food, clothing, whatever the case may be. When the company that's about money comes in and buys the company that's about product, the product sucks in the end, no matter what. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And kind of, it's an interesting read for sure. But God, that was God, when did I read that on like a plane? It was like, that was a while ago, but it was fascinating. However, speaking of the good guys, the good devs out there.
Yes.
Were you aware that yesterday we got Dodger? This is interest of both you and I.
Okay.
And I'm excited because now that I'm back, this is look. I got Expedition 33. I got Blueprints. I got all the games I definitely want to like 100%. However, this 2 hours is going to just supersede all of it because it's vastly more important to me, as this is a Jesse Dodger thing.
Is it Rusty Lake?
Brand new Rusty Lake is out.
Yeah!
Yes, it's called Mr. Rabbit's Magic Show.
Oh my gosh.
The Mr. Rabbit Magic Show.
When did it come out?
literally, I believe on April 30th. It released with a full ass, I think, movie. Like, not movie, but you know how in one of the previous games they made like a crazy cinematic that was all live action? Yeah. They've done it again for their 10-year anniversary of, which by the way, 10 years of Rusty Lake is crazy to me.
That is crazy.
I've been so obsessed with this. So this supersedes everything. I will find time to play this. It is happening.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited. This time,
Rusty
I believe
Lake? How did I not know? I'm so excited.
This time, I think it is a card game kind of thing. I don't know what that means in regards to all of it, but like most of their games, totally free. If you want to support them, they have a DLC, which is $3, I think. And all it is like a thank you from the devs, and you get like additional art assets in the game that don't do anything except like make it look a little nicer. That's
Perfect.
It. But it's like, if you want to give us some bucks, we'll take it, but it's totally free otherwise. And I'm expecting, for those of you who never played Rusty Lake, I'm expecting this to confuse you. And honestly, that's the point. Most of them confuse until you realize that they all connect in some crazy way. And if you're like me and you've played them all, and like Dodger, you're going to be like, oh, that's from this one. This, like, oh, well, that was in 1896. But if you're on the island in the 1920s, well, then also, of course, there's I want to say Van Gogh, but for the Europeans, Van Gogh. And there's a bunch of stuff. Yeah. And I love these games. I love them. They're so Jesse-coded. So yeah. I can't wait to play them.
I've been thinking about doing a replay of all of them. But the question then would be, do you play them in order that they came out again? Or do you try to play them in what you think is chronological order?
Can I propose something crazy to you? Which is this is going to make your day. A while ago, and I've been meaning to do this, but I just haven't had the time until right now when I remembered. There is a tabletop Rusty Lake thing. I think it's called it's like a version of the lab, or it's something very similar to the lab game.
Okay.
Where they've sent me rooms with all of this information. It's like D&D almost.
Okay.
But I think it'd be fun to play with you, and we can get some like other people to play. And you just go through and you're trying to investigate and literally do a Rusty Lake, but live. And so I would be the DM of our Rusty Lake experience. I was like, yo, this is so cool.
Let's do it.
I always wanted to do it in person, but I was like, screw it. Now that we're talking about it, like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
We can do it online. It'd be great.
Let's just figure it out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'd have to find a way to scan all the images and do that so we could like do a thing, but
right.
It could be fun. I was just thinking about that because I was like, man, I love Rusty Lake. It's just the best. It's so much fun.
It is.
Yeah. And you're right. I don't know how you would explain where people to start. Like, because you want to say start with Rusty Lake Hotel.
Yeah, but that's because that's where we started.
And also, at the time, it was the first one, and it didn't really make a lot of sense, and it seems like kind of a goofy, you serve animals to other animals kind of game. And it's weird. But then the last half is insane. And you're like, what the hell did I just play? And I think that's why we both loved it. And then from that point on, it all starts to unfold over the course of like 10 games now? I don't even know how many games we've gotten. And it just keeps snowballing into this absolutely insane story. And I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, I love it as well. Oh, yes. I'm excited. New Rusty Lake game.
Big excite.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You can tell we're excited because I know right now we're both thinking, when do we have time to play this? Yeah, I know we're doing a podcast, but also I'm aware we both had the same moment. We're like, when are we doing this?
When should I play this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my goodness. They're just good. How many of them are there now?
Great question. Probably more than
like
you
10?
think. Because they also have the Cube Escape games.
Yeah. Are those technically the same universe?
I mean, they released a full Cube Escape Paradox, and it chapters 1 and 2, and I think 3, and they all connect in some way. So the games they have are... Oh, damn, I think I just spoiled myself on a thing. Okay. So they have Rusty Lake Paradise, Rusty Lake Roots. Well, I'm sorry. Rusty Lake Hotel, Rusty Lake Roots, Rusty Lake Paradise. There's the Cube Escape Collection, That's right now only $1.69. I'm just saying there's a bunch of games for $1.69. Wow, you can get most of their collection right now for real cheap. There's of course
Rusty Lake anniversary sale right now.
Yeah. There's The Past Within. There's Underground Blossom, which is a very interesting, it's like a railroad one. I'm sorry, like
I like
a
that
subway.
one.
There's The White Door. I like The White Door. I thought that was pretty wild. There is the Samsara Room, which I think is probably their most ambitious one. And yeah, so there's Rusty Lake Paradox, and I think Cube Escape Paradox are connected. And so there's those. And then they just released this new one, the Mr. Rabbit Magic Show. But then down at the very bottom, there is a damn thing here that says Servant of the Lake to be announced. And I think I just spoiled myself on the next one, and I'm really excited.
Servant of the Lake.
That's what I am. Like, yeah. I feel like that targets me. I'm a servant of the lake. I love these games.
Oh my goodness.
Yep,
We're nearly there, man.
Big time, big fan. So shout out to them. They're just some of my favorite indie darlings where it's fun games, cheap. They won't take too much of your time. And the experience you have, you'll be like, damn, that was wild.
Like, what the shit did I just play? Yeah, it's good. It's good. There are so many games I feel like recently that I've either played the demo of or have played properly and thought to myself, this was 100% inspired by Rusty Lake. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love these games. And I think it's, you probably could get them all on mobile. I know they started on mobile because all the Cube games were
Escape
mobile.
ones are.
Yeah, and I wonder if you can get the rest of them there now. Probably. I don't know. But man, yeah, if you ever want to see two people solve a game two completely different ways, please go watch Dodger and I play these games.
I love when I play these games first because then I get to go watch you play it if you stream it. And every time I'm like, oh my God, he got that so easily. And then there will be another thing that I got really quickly that you'll struggle with. And I'm like, our brains are so different.
Wired completely different. Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating like look at humanity if you just watch the two versions. Yeah. It's pretty funny. Oh man. Yeah, did you do anything else of interest or excitement this week?
Not that I can think of. Not really. I built my planter boxes. So
I said, did you do anything exciting this week?
It was exciting. I worked really hard on them, man.
What, you just made boxes for plants?
Yeah, I built. I
Hold on. What kind of plants though? This could be the kicker.
There's no plants in them yet. But
So
I made
built boxes.
I built two. I'm trying to think how big they are. Like 6 foot by 2 foot boxes. I built two like pretty big ones, and then two of them that were like a lot like longer and thinner to go around the chicken coop. But I built them, and now I'm having to figure out how to fill in the bottom with like refuse so that I can put the soil on so that I'm not filling the whole thing up with soil.
Understood.
Because that's
so you want
expensive.
like rocks at the bottom kind of deal.
Well, like scrap pieces of wood or branches, cardboard. So I've been saving up cardboard from things that we've bought. You know, things that'll break down eventually, but can just fill up the bottom for now. So, yeah.
Okay.
But that's soon I'm gonna have plants in there, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, the life of a lady on a farm, little house on the prairie,
A little house on something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you could have been in Scotland like on a bog. That would have been cool. Although Little House on a Bog sounds like a horror movie.
Oh, a Little House on a Loch.
A Little House on a Loch?
Yeah. Someone should write that.
Yeah.
That's all I did though. I've been working outside a lot because
I love
the sun's
how
out.
most of the ideas we have are not what a great idea we had. It's just someone else should do this. Like, I came up with this thing, but I'm not going to do it. That's stupid.
I don't want it.
Someone else should.
You can.
Yeah.
Someone else should have
You can
that.
take
Yeah.
it.
I guess that should be evidence of the value we see in the idea, right?
Our amazing ideas. Yeah.
We're like, what a good idea. Someone else should do that.
Right. Like, it's so good, you should do it.
Yeah.
We give this
Don't
to
worry.
you. Enjoy.
That one's free. Yeah.
Meanwhile, somewhere at a Starbucks in Hollywood, a guy's like, Little House on Loch.
Little house on
interior.
the loch.
It's a little house on a loch.
Yes. I'd watch that one act show. I'd
Yeah.
watch that black box production. Yeah.
Honestly, you probably could do something weird with just it's set inside the house the entire time, but outside something creepy's going on. And the people on the inside don't know how to react, but they're too afraid to look outside. Like, you could do a thing like that.
Yeah. Normally in like a black box show, right? Like the back wall, you just pretend, like whatever building people are meant to be in, you just pretend that the back wall is the back wall. But if you like built a back wall as like a set piece and have it just slightly in front, at the very end of the show, after you've implied that there's something out there this whole time, you could have like a weird inflatable guy. You can inflate a big dude that'll go.
Your ending to a one-act play
Yeah,
is the reveal of a
especially-
giant inflatable man outside?
Yes, and the whole thing would have to be a drama. There would have to be a lot. It would have to be, very like sure, that thing outside is scary, but humans are scarier, right? But then at the very end, there's like one of those like.
I love the idea of it just being one of those car lot guys. But a really menacing car lot guy who's like,
Yeah, you can put some little spikies on him, like he's Nessie.
Right.
And they go, ah! And then that's the end, and they all bow.
And then some guy wheels out the car lot guy, and then he does that bow the car lot guys do. Yep. It's an hour of pure horror followed by it's just the reveal is that they've been on a car lot the entire time. And it's just the car lot guy.
My stomach hurts.
It sounds like a really bad episode of The Twilight Zone, but like, we're trapped in here and there's something outside, it's gonna get us.
Oh my god.
Like, yeah, one of the guys is like, I'm not letting them take me, and he kills himself, and they're just like, no, what are you doing? And they think it's the end of the world, and then they open the door and it's just a car lot, and it's the guy. That'd be like the darkest story. Like the end of The Mist. It'd be so dark. You're like, damn, what the hell?
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like a Saw situation.
Yeah, they're
And then once the one survivor finally gets out.
oh yeah, one guy goes
car
crazy
lot.
and thinks he hears the monster outside talking to him, and he's like, it wants me to kill and eat all of you, right? And it just devolves, and at the end they open the door and it's just a used car lot, and it's just this guy, and they've been trapped in there because it was like a winter storm, and technically it's only been like 3 hours, and they went nuts. That'd be incredible. We really strayed away from House on a Loch. You know what? We planned.
No, you'd still call it that though.
Right. Oh my God.
yeah.
You call it that because the guy who is the guy who sells the used cars, he can't say
That's
lot.
the way he pronounces lot.
That's the way he pronounces lot. This, my friends, is how comedy is written. This is perfect. This is a good ass story. Right, A24 produces it. It's billed as the scariest movie you've ever seen. And in the end, it was all a used car lot.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I've got nothing left. The tank's empty, dude.
Good. Well, now it's time for news.
Let's do the news.
So, right away, starting with biggest news, of course, GTA 6 once again delayed, this time until 2026, which I think I and every other person who talked about GTA has called, so that it was definitely going to happen. Apparently, it hit Take-Two's stock pretty hard. They lost 7 or 8% on the NASDAQ. However, look, everyone, I must state this for legal reasons. I am no stock analyst, and I cannot give you advice. However, if I owned Take-Two stock, I probably wouldn't sell out of panic. I feel like they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Considering when it comes out, it'll be the highest selling game in the history of games. So, like,
just
hold on, y'all.
Just sit on it. Yeah.
Yeah. In more grounded yet incredibly sad news, this week was another week in gaming. So, of course, we had layoffs. EA cut 400 jobs. It killed 2 Respawn games. One of the projects, I guess, was a Titanfall extraction shooter. And while I do not like extraction shooters, I love Titanfall. So I probably would have enjoyed that. And that kind of sucks. But I guess we are still getting the 3rd Star Wars Jedi game, and Apex Legends isn't going anywhere. Also, in the world of layoffs, boy, weird place to be. Polygon was just bought by Valnet, which owns a whole bunch of media. And I guess they just fired a lot of people. A lot of Polygon staff was let go. And interestingly enough, at the same time, Giant Bomb is having some sort of brand restructurement, realignment thing. And a lot of people from Giant Bomb are out as well. So I don't, I have absolutely no clue what's going on with games media at the moment. But I will say that, as I've always said, shout out to Video Games Chronicle. They still are just the best news site for games if you're curious about that kind of stuff. I love them to death. Also, I think this is something that, Dodger, you could probably relate to. I don't know. But a new study shows that 80... No. This is no roast. This is...
Okay.
I get a lot of messages about this frequently, so I imagine you would too. 85% of U.S. veterans who played video games on active duty say it helped release stress of military life. And I know that I have had a lot of people who have served in the military been like, dude, we would watch you guys all the time.
Yeah.
So I love that. Thank you. I'm like, boy, I feel like I made deployment worse, but okay. Somewhere on a base somewhere, some guy's watching us be like, and then it goes like this. And they're like, what am I doing? What are we doing here?
Oh my goodness.
But I definitely think that that's a very interesting. I guess it's 86% of veterans believe video games helped prevent various daily stresses and anxieties. 81% said it helped them cope with difficult times in their lives. 77% believe that games had a positive impact on their life in post-military service. So I think that is a lot of interesting stats there. Yeah. That was put out by the ESA. So also it could just be straight propaganda. I don't know. The ESA is very self-serving sometimes.
That's true.
But I think they put it out on at the ESA. I think it's the ESA.com 2025 veterans something survey. So you can find information about that. Then in more news that in this darkest timeline we're in, for some reason, the first 7 Leisure Suit Larry games are being delisted from Steam.
Why?
So I must stress. I said for some reason. I don't know. I have no clue. I guess maybe they're just not selling, or maybe it costs money to keep them there, or I don't know. But EA is like, sorry, dude, we're taking them down. So let me just stress once again, ladies and gentlemen, GOG, they're still there. They still exist there. Just saying. So if you're a fan of those old school games of being a pervert, that's for you. GOG still rocking, still strong.
Yep.
Then of course, we got a very interesting, but I think we talked about this before, and I love this idea. Microsoft, who, as we've discussed many times, I don't know what the hell an Xbox is. I guess it's everything. And so their console is a complete mess. However, much like Sega, they're in that publishing arm, and Microsoft was the top publisher on the PlayStation Store by pre-orders in Q1 2025, which is a fascinating thing to say.
That's
Microsoft out there being like, yeah, we're the number one on PlayStation. Pretty crazy. So, honestly, it makes sense. If you're going to be the guys who go out and buy every damn game company, you better get those games on every damn platform. And honestly, good for them. I love that for them. And I'm fine with having to buy one less console, to be honest. You know what? I'm fine with it. If everything's going to start getting more expensive, I'm all right not doing that. So, I thought that was pretty interesting. Then, one of my absolute favorites, I think this is hilarious, and it's very perfectly timed with me being overseas at Remedy. Sam Lake. This is my favorite headline ever, by the way.
I'm ready.
Sam Lake. Again, Sam Lake would like to make a Moomins game.
Okay.
I so want this. I think this would be I want it to be as crazy. I just, for those who don't know the Moomins, they're already weird. They're already weird looking. And I guess because, I don't know. I guess he's saying that after he retires from making games, he would like to make something with the Moomins. So, I'm kind of here for this.
Bro, I'd be so down.
Yeah.
As a new Moomer. I would love that. Because the Moomin universe and the Moomin characters are already bonkers, like you were saying. So having somebody who's willing to like lean into that really hard, I would be really curious how much wiggle room they would give him, because they're very protective of their IP and how it's portrayed. Mm-hmm.
At the Helsinki airport, there's a Moomin shop. And the Moomin shop, while very cute and silly, and I almost bought a hat because it had like this guy called Stinky on it, and he just looked how I felt.
Stinky's great, yeah.
Yeah. The outside of the shop has what can only be described as Dark Soul-esque creatures. Like there are these worm things with glowing blue eyes and spiky hair, like 100 of them surrounding the shop, staring out at you. I can imagine at night it being terrifying. It was so crazy looking. I was like, what the hell are these things? Absolutely. I would love a Sam Lake Moomin. Like, I can only imagine what that actually would be. I know in his mind he'd try to make it the same, like, kid-friendly thing, but it's still Sam Lake. So I imagine
it would be wind up
insane.
Bonkers. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I must stress, while landing in Helsinki, I looked at the surrounding area, right? And it's all of these trees that have a vibe of, I get Remedy now. All of the forest area, because it isn't like a major city. You're going in, and it's like a city, but surrounding it's all this like massive forests, and all of the trees have the vibe of, this is definitely a place a cult kills people. Like there is a solid, oh no, all the death metal, all of it starts to make sense. You're like, oh,
the trees give off like foreboding somehow.
Especially if you're in a country that 6 months out of the year, half the time it's dark.
Oh,
like, I get it being, no, I understand. I get all of this now. The minute I landed, I was like, oh, it has like it's the Northwest, but scary vibe. I understand why Twin Peaks is a big influence. I get, it's like, oh no, yeah, Twin Peaks is Northwest but scary. This is the same thing. This is the exact same. It's terrible. Yeah, I definitely had a vibe. And then you spend all your time going over islands, and there are little islands where I'm like, you could bury so many bodies there. No, who would know? Yeah. So that's all I'll say about that.
Today, I feel like we're getting a good idea of how often you think to yourself slightly scary things.
Oh, frequently. I always will think it, but not in like a I'm worried about it way, but in like a funny.
In like a amusing way.
Yes. I was once told, this is absolutely, if you want to know my psyche, I was once told by a person, God, this was like, I think this was in college. I often whistle while doing things or hum to myself while doing things, cooking, walking, like going to the bathroom. I'll just like have a song in my head. And this girl once told me, only people who have no problems whistle to themselves. And I was like, I don't know that I believe that, but I understand why people think that, because I spend most of my time like, I'm having a good time.
Is the implication like, if you have the room in your noggin to just only want to be whistling, then there's nothing else going on up there?
Yeah, like I think the implication is if I'm walking on the street and I'm humming to myself, I'm not paying attention to the world around me. And so I'm just like, right? And anything can happen. But I know that's not true, but I think about that frequently, where I will literally look at something like a forest, think a really dark thought, and then be like, just like go on my way. And it's such a weird thing, because I know most people, if they think, oh man, you could be killed in this forest, I don't want to go in there. I'm like, well, if I gotta go in the forest, I'm gonna hum a bit. Like,
right? Yeah. Might as well let them know where I am at.
So, and then really quickly, last thing, I thought this was very cute. Expedition 33 came out. It's getting a lot of love, a lot of praise, and in the same way, echoing the days of when the Polish government said that Witcher 3 was like their best export, President Macron of France was saying that Clair Obscur is a shining example of French audacity and creativity. And for anyone who has played it, I must stress, those are incredibly apt words for describing the game. Audacious and creative are exactly how I would describe it.
Cute.
Very, very cool stuff. Love that game.
I still have not touched that game. I haven't watched anyone play it. I'm excited to just like...
I just want to see you play the first 2 hours. I don't care if we ever see you play anymore, but I want to see you play the first 2 hours, because like, what a solid start to a game. I can't even stress it enough. I don't even want to talk about it. I just want to say like, go play it, have fun. I will definitely say that if it says anything about the games industry, when I was at Remedy, I got to hang out with a bunch of people like in the journo spaces, and all we did was talk about Blueprints and Expedition 33. People were like, this is what people are playing right now. So
yeah. I was just saying to my chat earlier while I was playing the Hell House game, that I took a few days off from Blueprints and I went to play it again, and I was like, I don't even remember what the fuck I was doing. That's a deadly game to take a break on, really, because you get out of the rhythm of it. And I was like, what the shit am I even doing in this game anymore? I don't remember.
I'm actually very thankful that I hit a wall with, like, there's a point in the game where in order to solve puzzles, you just have to get certain rooms. And thankfully, I'm at that wall where I have to get certain rooms. And if I don't get certain rooms, I'm not progressing. And so I thankfully know exactly what I need to do, and there's nothing I can do till I get the rooms. And so I'm like, oh, thank God. I don't have to solve anything crazy. I just need the certain room, so I can go back to that whenever and be fine. But yeah, I've definitely been thinking about Expedition 33, because that's just, I had to leave it to leave the country, and I'm like, I just want to play. I just want to get back in it. So it's definitely going to happen this weekend. We'll do a big old stream, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's the news.
That's the news. Fantastic. I'm exhausted from all that laughing earlier.
Good. You know
I
what?
feel like I could nap.
We did that. We definitely we set a tone of comedy hilariousness. And
hilarious.
Yeah. And I'm honestly, that's what we're here for.
That's for you, chat. That one's free.
Otherwise we have failed miserably.
Literally no one else laughed. They're like, haha, good
we
bit,
thought it was
guys.
hilarious.
That's actual hell. That's my idea of hell, is us like having a joke, thinking it's so funny, and then peeking behind the curtain to see the percentage of people who laughed, and it's 0.
There's going to be like a thing on YouTube, the analytics is like, you actually lost 40% of your viewers. And I have to be like,
no.
Okay, all right.
Don't make jokes anymore.
Jokes suck. Don't do it.
No jokes.
We cannot do jokes.
0 jokes. Just talk about video games.
Yep.
Okay. What have you got going on this weekend and this next week? Just catch up on stuff now?
Yeah. I'm back. I'm going to catch up on stuff. I took some time to rest because international flights are no joke, kids. I think today I'm getting together with the boys to do more Star Wars Old Canon Book Club stuff. And then if I have time today, I'll try to stream some stuff. But if not, then tomorrow we'll just pound out all the streams. There's another Scary Game Squad coming Moonday. And trying to think what else we got going on. Oh, Monster Prom is out. You probably should go get that. I definitely want to play Monster Prom with this one and Octo. So we can play Monster Prom 4. Yeah, we'll schedule that and make that happen. And then, I'm trying to think what else is going on. There's so much coming down the pipeline. Like, we're already getting emails for Summer Games Fest that are like, yo, come check out our game. Like,
dude.
But then I realized it's May. And that's the second week of June. So I'm like, oh, never mind. It's not even that far away. Time has no meaning. Here we are. So, but
it's basically summer already. So
yeah, I expect a lot of really good things. And I also had the thought that the other day I was thinking, man, we should bring back some of the old guests who have been on before, because like that's something shows like this do. And then I thought, but like they were just on, right? And then I realized, no, we've been doing this for almost a year and a half now. And
I know, wasn't that crazy?
We can start cycling people back. I was like,
we can absolutely start cycling people back. Yeah, 100%.
I was like, oh yeah, but also,
we're in time for the quarterly Crendor as well. So
I didn't feel like the show should end on a sour note, but like,
I just felt like you should know that we're in the second quarter now. So
it's like getting some sort of like butt exam, like some sort of rectal examination. Like you gotta, I mean, like at a certain age you gotta, but like, way to be a buzzkill, Dukes.
I'm so sorry.
I want to keep this going as long as I can, because at some point Crendor has to show up and be like, what'd you say? And I'm gonna be like, nothing, dude. What are you talking about? It's gonna be
great. Shout out to Crendor, friend of the podcast, Crendor. He comments on friend of the pod. He comments on so many of the episodes.
Honestly, I love that. I love that he'll come in and say a thing. It's very cute. Yeah. It's it has the same quality as when like a hot cosplay girl posts a thing online, and then all of her cosplay friends are like, "You're so cute, girl!" Like that's our Crendor, our hot cosplay friend. That's our Crendor.
Crendor is our hot cosplay friend. Yeah, it's he listens to Geekenders the same way that I listen to Cox and Crendor in the morning. So now Crendor and I have to start a show, and you have to listen to it and enjoy the sound of our voices.
I'm telling you right now, I need a show where the two of you talk about like home ownership and just
boring later life stuff.
Had to fix the walls today. There was a crack, and I went in there trying to smooth out the crack, but then I realized that all the drywall was just rot on the inside, so we had to tear down the wall. Like that kind of, I would love that. I would listen to that all the time.
Crendor, man, like our front door, the I don't remember what it's called, but the little bit that comes out of the like locking mechanism that goes into the wall to like keep the door shut. That shit kept getting like stuck inside, and I kept using over here they call it release it, like WD-40, you know, like I just kept spraying it in there, but it just kept getting stuck. And then I tried to use a knife, and the tip of the knife got stuck inside of there. And then I was like, well, fuck, because now the tip of the knife, right, is going to be like an extra thing that's keeping it lodged in there. So eventually I think I put enough things in there that I kind of widened the gap and it's not stuck anymore, but I also drenched the thing in WD-40. And the most important part of this is that in the end I got to go to Sam and be like, I fixed the door. He doesn't need to know how I fixed it, you know, but it's fixed now and it works, and that's all that really matters. But there is the tip of a knife still stuck in there somewhere.
I must stress to you that if both you and Crendor use that voice, this would be the #1 podcast in the world simply because people listen to it to go to sleep. They'd put it on. Your numbers would be huge. They'd be massive numbers. Like each episode, 50 million people fell asleep listening, and they just played the whole thing because they were asleep. Listening to the two of you just be like, so there I was trying to fix the door, and a knife broke off in it. And I was like, man, what a ridiculous. I can't even. And Crendor would be like, well, that's terrible. So what did you do? People will be like, good night, everyone.
Good night, guys. Good night. I'm going to message him right now.
Mm-hmm. I would genuinely listen to that ridiculous show of just like, yeah, we bought a home and here's everything going on with it. It is a mess. I have so much to fix. You know, I would love that. What's going on with you this week?
Oh, goodness gracious. I'm gonna try to get to an ending of Hollow Knight. If those of you who have played it, there's one ending that is much quicker to get than the others. Yeah, I'd like to just complete a playthrough, open up most of the map if I can. So I think at the pace I'm at, I think a couple more days and I could crack that out. So yeah, apparently some things have come out that I missed, some stuff that I should enjoy. So I'll double back and look, maybe do the first couple hours of Expedition 33 and then say I'm never streaming this again. I don't know.
Honestly, I think you will, but for reasons I would watch the hell out of that. Yeah. I would show up and watch that first couple hours like just silently, all smiles in chat the entire time.
Yeah, that's what I tell chat to do. And I'm like, don't tell me anything. Just smile. Don't say anything. And sometimes when I'm playing a game, I'll get to an area and it's just a million smiles. I'm like, oh no. Why all the smiles? Now the smiles creep me out. I don't know.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I did record a new Anime Cult. For those of you who listen to Anime Cult,
with a V.
Anime Cult.
Yep.
We did our episode for Ore Monogatari, which has been our most cursed episode yet. Not because the stuff inside of the episode is cursed, but because we watched this show so long ago, and then one of us had surgery, our dog had surgery, no names, one of us had a family emergency, and it just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And by the time we did the episode, we were like, so what do we remember about this show? So I'm expecting that people who really love my love story, Ore Monogatari, the anime, are going to hate the episode, but it is what it is. You know, it's whatever.
I learned that Mathis hates Cowboy Bebop, so like I expect only trash takes.
I
expect only terrible takes,
bro.
This is probably on average for your terrible takes. How dare you? How dare you?
So yeah, tune into that if you want to be mad, or just have a nice time. I don't know, whatever feels right in the moment. But that's it for us. Hey gang, if you want to watch this again later, if you're like, man, that was such a fun episode, I want to rewatch that. I want to watch them do the blow up arms again.
Solid bit.
It's a good bit. You can find all of the VODs at youtube.com/Jessie Cox. We are also on all of the podcasty things, so check us out wherever suits your fancy. And otherwise, have a fantastic weekend, have a nice week, and we will see you next Friday. That's it. Bye!
Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for the Geekenders podcast. MegaRan, Jesse and Dodger, what up? Let's go. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow and see what the Geekenders are all about. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt. Yo, another end of another long week. Got a job and a kid, I know that you all beat. So take a second, grab a drink and vibe while we catch you up in just a matter of time. On gaming, comics, whatever you're doing. If you're nerdy like us, then you know you should tune in. Thank you for sharing our world with us. Now follow, subscribe, and turn this up. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt.